Guys, welcome back. Sorry we couldn't get that live stream going, but welcome everybody. Got the Crypto Daily on today. This is going to be a great chat. Long time in the making. We've been in contact for a while now, and so it's really awesome to actually get the chance to sit down, have a chat, and do this.
Or in my case, stand up. But thank you very much for inviting me to do this. It's a great privilege. You have like one of the best reps out there, and I'm very happy to collab, chat crypto, and hopefully get to the important issues, the issues that matter, because there's a lot we could discuss. But let's do this.
Let's do this. Let's do this. So, we were knocking around some topics earlier, and well, one of the things we wanted to get. Let's go to the first one. Actually, you were talking about, which was top 10 coins. Where do we think they're going? What's going on with them? We'll jump into some of the other topics a bit later. So,
yeah,
Bitcoin.
It's a good one.
What's it doing?
73.15 right now.
Holy cow.
So it's like almost totally recovered. I mean, not quite, but almost, from this week's Bitcoin Cash drama, where, as Bitcoin Cash was growing, it was tipping the scales. They both couldn't grow at the same time. It was very much a one-sided affair, and Bitcoin Cash was really going for it, for the jugular every day, 40-50% gains. And now Bitcoin's kind of shrugging it off. I mean, not totally, but it's kind of reminiscent of when the China fears happened, and it went down. It went down hard, and it just boosted. It just came right back as though nothing had happened and blew past its previous all-time highs. It's doing fantastic. It's so resilient. It's crazy. Very proud of Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. That's the amazing thing, actually, that no matter what happens, Bitcoin always seems to come back even stronger than before.
This is true. You can have more confidence now that, something like that happened and it came out of it just fine. That's good. That's censorship resistance right there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, we might see Bitcoin Cash actually arise as one of the premier altcoins,
for sure.
For example.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's totally a market for a cheaper, faster version of Bitcoin, just as there is for Litecoin and Ethereum. So yeah, it's not going anywhere for sure. That's how I feel. I mean, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what it would do without manipulation, just because I feel like there is. But yeah, I don't expect it to go anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, speaking of manipulation, that manipulation was crazy the other day. The fact that they were able to push it up by $20 billion in the course of a few hours, and then it dropped by $20 billion in the course of about 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's nuts, right?
Yeah.
Totally organic.
Yeah, totally.
Normal.
Totally. All those Korean investors decided to dump their Bitcoin Cash exactly the same time. It's unfortunate. I feel like there was a lot of abuse going on there, and that they potentially even chose Korea because they know it's a crazy market. And I know Roger Ver's over. We can go conspiracy theory. I know Roger Ver's over there meeting with the heads of the exchanges about a month ago. Maybe they were planning this the whole time, and because it's the crypto market, this crap can happen and nobody goes to jail. If this were to happen in regular markets, people would go to jail. There's a very real potential that some of the Korean exchanges were actually taking advantage of their clients. And I'm not saying that, so don't sue me for libel, please, Korean exchanges, but you have to wonder where this comes from. So that being said, it does solve problems. It's not that Bitcoin Cash isn't without its uses, and I think it's going to be a premier altcoin for a long time to come. It's like, we call it Litecoin Gold.
That sounds like a credible fork that's coming soon. Fork mania.
Yeah. I've seen all kinds of them. Actually, I saw that there's like an ETH Gold. I think there is actually a Litecoin Gold coming. I think somebody's actually doing that. Yeah.
For sure. I talked, like, there's an Ethereum Cash. There's a ton of crap.
It's crazy. You start going down the bottom of the list, and it's like, what's going on down here?
But yeah, not to put Bitcoin Cash in that category, but yeah, there's a lot of crap.
Yeah, the big difference with Bitcoin Cash is it's got a lot of big money behind it. Love it or hate it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that I guess that brings us to Ripple.
Well, we skipped Ethereum a little bit.
We did skip Ethereum. We're going to get back to Ethereum, actually.
Is Ethereum going past 300? It's 330 right now.
can it get back up to 4? I think is the question on the minds of most Ethereum investors.
Mm.
I think it
So like
can.
one of the things is, oh yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely feel that for sure. I think at least for right now, if it was at 400, I think a lot of people have gotten used to seeing 300, and it's kind of been like a norm. And then if they see Ethereum at 400, maybe they think it's kind of expensive and they might wait for it to go down. So yeah, I don't know if it can break past that resistance. If it can hit new all-time highs, I think that'd be really important. Um, but I don't know. So you know the growth this year from like $10 to 400. This was crazy FOMO. Like uh, justifiable FOMO. I guess that's up for debate. But until Ethereum can trigger that kind of FOMO again, if it even has a FOMO effect, because it's so expensive. It's like
Mm.
a quarter of the market cap of Bitcoin. That's a big deal. 31 billion market cap. Can it realistically double or triple from here? Are people considering that? Like I don't. I personally think new people investing into cryptocurrencies would like Ethereum and they would buy Ethereum. So I definitely see it growing. But if you're looking for a gains coin, like I want to make some more Bitcoin, do you realistically look at the market cap and think Ethereum's got a lot more room to grow? And maybe you do, but maybe a lot of people don't.
Yeah, it's a safe coin, I guess,
At
at
the
the
same
top
time
when
with
it comes down to
Ethereum,
it. But I look at Ethereum and I think it's achieved so much value. What about the
Yeah.
competitors? We have so many big competitors coming into that exact space who are arguing that they're going to be doing it better. People like Neo, 10,000 transactions per second. People like EOS who
Mm.
are, claiming the moon basically. Not to
Mm-hmm.
mention some of the others farther down. We got Cardano. We have even Komodo's trying to bring out, decentralized ICOs. So there's a lot of competition coming in. And are they going to start chewing away at Ethereum's lead and taking some of that market from them, or will the market simply expand and just incorporate those others into the fold?
I'm starting to think the second of those two options is the more likely one because we've seen it. Like Bitcoin Gold is hugely expensive. No, not Bitcoin Gold. Bitcoin Cash is whatever it is right now, but Bitcoin's still doing very well. So it's weird. It's weird how it works. I mean, you could argue that, oh, if it wasn't for Bitcoin Cash, all of that market cap would be in Bitcoin instead. But then realistically, it might not work out that way. So yeah, cryptocurrency is very, very strange. It's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, it's maybe there's even the potential that Ethereum won't really grow very much, but the others will grow very much, and I think we'll see projects
Mm,
like Cardano, like EOS be number 4 and 5. Maybe Ethereum's number 2, Bcash 3 or whatever goes away somewhere, whatever, but they'll be in the top 10 along with Neo.
yeah, yeah. I'm thinking like probably short term to trigger another FOMO run. We need to start seeing more utility out of Ether. Right now, fantastic ICO funder works, and that's great. Massive utility, potentially deserving of number 2 top spot. What would be another new feature? During the bull run, Ethereum was pegged as Internet 2.0, the world's supercomputer. It's going to do everything. It's going to slice your bread for you. Now we see it as something else, and maybe it hasn't lived up to the hype that we experienced this year. I don't know. Maybe it has. Maybe it hasn't. But I think we need to see a little bit more utility. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I know they're working on upgrades for Ethereum, but
Mm.
the competitors
The
are
more
coming fast and
transactions.
hard. Yeah,
I like, like
yeah.
Bitcoin doesn't suffer from. Well, I mean, you could make the argument that it does suffer, but realistically, if people truly cared about transaction speeds and confirmation times, and Bitcoin still wouldn't be number one, and it is because the premier function is not day-to-day transacting according to the markets. I mean, you could argue that it should be, and yeah,
Hmm.
probably, but the premier use is the store value. And Ethereum is a great stable one. If you're looking to just store and not experience too wild fluctuations up or down, Ethereum's a great choice.
Yeah, the transaction fees are really low. It's quick. You can invest in ICOs easily with it. So what the heck? Why not?
Exactly.
Okay. So are we gonna skip over Ripple? Do we want to talk about Ripple?
Yeah, go on. Let's
So
skip.
yeah, screw the big banks. Okay,
I
Dash,
mean,
Dash.
I can say like, oh yeah, like there's an England bank, Santander, where it's customer. Well, no, if you worked for Santander, like you can have the beta of their wallet and like use it. But like, yeah, I don't see the point personally. Okay, like for investments, yeah, whatever. If you feel it's going to grow, fine. But I don't as a currency. Like banks definitely have utility out of it. They could potentially save a ton of money, but is that what you want to support? Debatable.
Debatable, definitely debatable. Yeah, I'm much more excited about a lot of other projects. Certainly, no need to. The big banks make enough money; they don't need more. Let's talk about Dash. Dash has seen some mind-blowing growth in the past few days. Has gone from like $300 to $450 very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's solving a problem. I think people are getting excited about it. People have been excited about it, and it's
The Koreans are excited about it. We're talking about Dash, right?
yeah.
Well, the Koreans love it, but then they go through phases of loving any one of the top 10. So it's interesting. But yeah, I mean, it has its concerns.
Yeah.
Like apparently you can roll back the blockchain if they deign to, if the overlords deign to do it, they can do it. And then they're not really private centric anymore.
Mm.
But it is really fast.
It's pretty cheap.
I don't know. It just feels early. It just feels too early to have these payment processors. I don't know. There's a coin called Request Network. It's a really good project. It's trying to facilitate using cryptocurrencies as a better transacting method, putting more infrastructure about being able to use a day-to-day currency. I think that's great. I think they'll definitely benefit long term by being first to the market, but it's still very early. At least I feel very early. People aren't using. Why would you use crypto over a credit card to buy something? I mean, there are reasons. The best one being you dodge the tax, man. If you can buy something on Amazon with Bitcoin, you don't have to convert it into fiat first. You don't have to declare it to the tax man. I don't know. We could argue that.
Yeah. It's tricky. Certainly, though, we do need them. We do need them moving forward, but
yes, we do. We do at some point in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a question of centralization versus decentralization too. Dash is run by a company basically. We actually see this as a common theme in the top of the network here. We've got Bitcoin Cash run by an elite group of Chinese interests. We have Ethereum, which is closely run by the Ethereum Foundation and is decentralized to an extent, but you still have this kind of body driving it to an extent. True decentralization, maybe myth-like in its actual application to an extent.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think even Bitcoin would suffer from those arguments in that it was pre-mined essentially. Even though like a ton, maybe 20%, 30%, who knows, of Bitcoin is gone. Like it's been lost.
Yeah.
Like in wallets, people have died. People have thrown it at the bottom of a tip, not realizing what it was. But essentially, there are a few whales that got in really early. And yeah, but I mean, it's still better than fiat. So yeah, you could make the same argument for a lot.
At
the end of the day, that's.
Do you know how much it? Do you know how much it costs to invent Bitcoin?
No.
1 Satoshi.
Yeah, of course. Mind blown. Yes, it's weird because everything has that like one value. Can't really go below it. So I was thinking maybe you create a coin and you create 99 quadrillion of them, and they're all worth 1 Satoshi. The market cap is through the roof, and you're like rank 5 coin on coin market cap. Because they're all worth 1 Satoshi.
Okay. Litecoin. Litecoin's up next. Litecoin, Charlie Lee, he's been doing really well. Of course, pushing that. I like Litecoin too. I think Litecoin's one of those projects people just say good stuff about. I don't hear anyone go, "Oh, Litecoin, those bastards over there, he's screwing everybody over." And it doesn't seem to have any of the scandal. It seems to be one of the, I don't know, the clean coins at the top. There's no political
Yeah.
drama like Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. There's no parity problems like Ethereum. It's it doesn't have any of the scandal Dash has behind it as well. It's not run by the big banks. Like, is Litecoin the answer to all of our dreams?
It's very true. And Charlie Lee's a very likable man. How can you not like the dude? So, but yeah, I guess people are potentially disappointed with its price action lately. People were hoping it would be independent of Bitcoin's price, and when there was the first Bitcoin fork, Bitcoin was going way down. Litecoin went down just as hard, and I think a lot of people were potentially disillusioned. They thought Litecoin would be a safe place. At least some people, not everyone. Some people thought Litecoin would be a safe place to hide out during the storm of Bitcoin, but it wasn't. It didn't really show itself as a more resilient altcoin. It showed that it was still tethered to Bitcoin. Can't really get away from it. Nothing can really get away from it. And while it is a cheaper and faster version, it potentially needed to show more resilience than that. I don't know. I still really like it.
I still really like it too. This is the interesting thing. Everyone really likes it, but it doesn't. I guess it hasn't reached that utility point yet. If it was used as a day-to-day transaction currency, it would be worth exponentially more. The problem is it's not a pairing coin. It's not like Ethereum or Bitcoin where you can go and buy other altcoins using Litecoin. You actually have to trade in your Litecoin to get Bitcoin to buy something else. And so a lot of the value of Litecoin right now is actually, highly based on intense speculation and community support, obviously. But if we actually look and think, okay, what's the problem to solve? Well, Bitcoin Cash solves some of those problems too. So it becomes a tricky situation for it moving forward, and everyone's excited about it, everybody likes it, but until we can walk into your local 7-Eleven or whatever it might be and buy a can of soda with Litecoin, it becomes a tricky proposition. But that might be said of all cryptocurrencies, to be honest, although amazingly, Bitcoin is accepted in so many places, but if you want to send that Bitcoin transaction, it's like a $3, $5, $10 fee on actually paying, so it's way more than any credit card would charge, and you as the user have to pay it.
This is true.
Big win for companies that accept Bitcoin, but a loss for the customers who pay.
Yes, so they should be offering discounts to those who are willing to pay in crypto, but they're not really doing that, at least most. But I mean, Litecoin's definitely going to grow, but then I can say that about every other cryptocurrency. And I think you're absolutely right. Until we hit like really, really needing a day-to-day transacting coin, it probably wouldn't, grow too much more in the short term. But by the time we are using crypto day-to-day, that we can go to a store, we can buy anything using a crypto, wouldn't Bitcoin have scaled? At least we're all hoping so. Wouldn't it have the Lightning Network by then? Atomic swaps. So tough proposition. It's done very well. We had to give it to Litecoin. It's done very well this year, just like a lot of crypto.
Just like a lot of cryptos, though. But it has stayed in the top. A lot of cryptos have done very well and then disappeared.
That's true. It's been quite stable. So
we love you, Charlie Lee.
And we like Litecoin.
Let's talk about what's up next. Neo?
Yeah, IOTA technically, but
let's do IOTA first. So, what are your thoughts on IOTA?
It's a very interesting concept. When you first have a look at it, it looks amazing. The roadmap is probably one of the best I've ever seen. The faster, like the bigger the network grows, the faster it is. That's absolutely crazy. No transaction fees, absolutely crazy. The concerning thing, and I don't really know too much about this, is that there's meant to be something within the code. It's not open source as far as I'm aware, and there's meant to be some sort of, not a kill switch within the code, but something. The fact that it's not open source is like the biggest problem I think it has with market sentiment. I don't know. We're getting deep down the rabbit hole there, but
yeah, it's interesting too to think about that when we look and think will the partners of IOTA care about such things? If they're partnering with, Bosch and Fujitsu and Hyundai and whoever else, they don't really care because they would do the same thing probably, to be
Well,
honest.
but then maybe they should. Maybe they should definitely care. Like if there's a kill switch, then isn't that if there's anything that's going to be a game killer, wouldn't that be it? You'd
Yeah.
expect. But I don't know.
I remember, I mean, I'm not sure if it was exactly related. It's hard to keep up with all the news, but I know that the IOTA Foundation paid an American university, Boston University or MIT or someone like that, to actually get in and, find faults within the system. And was this one of the faults that they had actually found?
No, so I don't even know if what I'm saying is like legitimate. I'm pretty sure it is. I'd need to do more research, but I'm pretty. Let me have a look. I'm pretty sure it's not open source. That's a problem.
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure right. Well, that's one.
You
I
put
think
anything they wanted.
I think you bring up an interesting point too. Remember, guys, we are not your gurus. We're not your gurus. We're just dudes who talk about cryptocurrency on YouTube and have a great time doing it. But people bring a lot of questions to me. I'm sure people bring a lot of questions to you, and it's hard to get all those answers, especially when we're just talking about the top 10 coins. We're thinking, wait a second, do we know that? Do we know that fact? Is that a fact? Did that really happen? I don't know. It was like last week. Was it 2 weeks ago? I don't even know anymore.
Yeah,
Really hard to keep tabs on actually what's going on out in the space too. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. IOTA is a bad actor in the open source community. IOTA's co-founder claims that the flaws in the hash function were in fact deliberate, that they were inserted as copy protection to prevent copycat projects. Okay, yeah, now I remember. So there's something within the code that if you were trying to copy it, that it would kill it. So essentially the argument is that they could kill the existing one because they put a bug in the code. And someone has, technically what they're saying is it's only gonna trip when you copy the code, but it's still there. So
It's still there.
Yeah.
Let's go on to Neo.
Okay.
Neo, the aspirations behind Neo have been fantastic. Obviously, we've seen a really good run up this year. If you bought in when it was $7, whatever you're doing, still sitting very well. It's been chilling. Found its kind of resistance point around the 25 to 30 some dollar mark. It's probably a bit up on that today, I would imagine. I haven't looked yet today, but people
30.
are super excited. There you go, around $30. People are super excited about Neo. People are still super excited about Neo. This is one of those constant Lambo Moon Llama Corn kind of cry cryptocurrencies. Do you think it's justified? Do you think we will see Neo at Ethereum levels?
Again, it's one of those coins like Ethereum that is shooting for the moon. It's going to do this, this, and this, and slice your bread as well. And while China has created a ceiling for the coin's price right now, it's still done very well considering, number 8, nearly a $2 billion market cap. Despite that, is great. And it's just, I think for a lot of the things that Ethereum is promising to do in the future, or that Neo is potentially promising to do, would require technological marvels to pull off. Because like sharding, for example, for Ethereum, a scaling update, technological marvel to pull off. That's not saying they can't do it. It's not saying Neo can't deliver on everything it's promising to be. The worldwide marketplace, ecosystem. Yeah, I suppose if anyone's going to do it, maybe it's going to be Ethereum, maybe it's going to be Neo. But I don't know. It'd be nice to see some more results. It'd be nice to see something more than ICO investment coin. I think maybe the market's going to start to mature and say, what is this coin that I've got? What am I going to do with it? Other than turn it for more Bitcoin one day, what utility has it got for me? For example, Walton. I think this is a big example of a coin that people love, or many people do, but they have no idea what it's going to be used for, how they're going to use it. Know that maybe they've never considered it. Maybe they've always considered it's designed to be turned into more Bitcoin one day, and then they're happy with that. And Nothing wrong with that, I guess.
It brings up a good question about projects in general. Look at something like a Power Ledger, for example, and that's actually the token is necessary to utilize the power trading network that they're setting up, for example. Not all do that. Not all tokens actually do have this integral part. Actually, I look at some tokens and go, wait a second, what is your token actually doing?
Yeah.
And so there's a bit of that as well. But nevertheless, I think Neo does serve some good purposes in the marketplace and has got amazing growth potential still, even though it's at number 9 and it's worth, what, probably about $2 billion today?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I agree. Especially if China eases up on its restrictions, yeah, to the moon. To the Lambos.
That's it, that's it. I think on that day, actually, you'd probably see a gigantic spike in Neo.
Oh yeah, there'll be some market manipulation that day for sure.
Amen.
You know what? It'll probably be just followed by just the precipitation to it would be, oh, China's really clamping down on it. They're kicking out everybody, and then it starts to tank. They buy it all, and then the news comes out a few days later. Oh no, it's cool. We're gonna legalize it.
The best would be if Da Hongfei posted on Twitter, "The police are here. I'm being arrested." The price would just go. Woo!
Screenshot of him in cuffs being led away. Yeah.
Okay, and number 10, we come in at NEM. Now, is NEM something you've looked into very much?
No. In fact, the first time I did was probably way back when I was trying to understand what CoinMarketCap exactly was. And it's something I have to admit, don't know too much about, won't be able to discuss it very much. But it'd be interesting to hear what you've got to say.
Well, it's interesting because NEM's probably one of the most underrated projects in the top 10. Everyone doesn't get the level of excitement that people put to some of the other coins, and a lot of the reasons NEM is usually traded mostly within Japan. For example, a lot of people are just holding it. A lot of people that got in early are just basically harvesting, which is their form of proof of stake. And so they've got millions, billions of NEM just locked up, working that process, getting the transaction fees. But basically, it is its own native blockchain. It's one of the few ones that are just built from total scratch. Too many other blockchains we see are just forks upon forks upon forks upon forks upon forks. So they got a native blockchain, all the stuff you'd expect, smart contracts, basically. They call them smart assets, and all this other fun stuff. So definitely a good...
They call them smart asses.
It's definitely a good player in the space. It's seen some massive downward price action, Satoshi value-wise, but it's actually stayed at about 20 cents approximately during that whole slide. It's kind of a funny thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'm remembering that it's more of an enterprise corporation project, and they're not too focused on marketing, as you can tell. A lot of people for a top 10 coin have no idea anything about NEM. So you can definitely tell that they're not really focusing on marketing.
That's it. The directors spend all their time just flying around meeting businesses and governments. Actually, they've been meeting a lot of governments recently. They've been in Dubai. They've been in Eastern Europe meeting, mayors, prime ministers, all these people looking at targeting that market. And they've actually got 2 blockchains, which is another interesting thing. They have the public blockchain, which is the NEM blockchain. Then they've got actually a private blockchain that lets businesses do private transactions that are not, on an open ledger. So I think that has a lot of value too. It's a slow burner. It's definitely got a lot of value moving forward. People, there's a calling for that kind of project. So interesting. That's the top 10 then. That's top 10.
Monero, we missed out.
Oh, we missed Monero. That's actually a really good one. We can't miss Monero. What do you think about it?
The premier privacy coin, the thing, so it's interesting. There's a lot of high sentiment toward privacy, and for good reason. People don't want to have everything displayed for the government to see. The government are definitely getting better at being able to determine whose wallet belongs to who's doing what with what money. Basically, it's a intelligence operations dream to be able to see what all money is doing. Now, while I think privacy is great, and I agree with that sentiment, I don't think that realistically 99.9% of people using crypto require that level of security or privacy, because they're not extorting someone, they're not ransoming someone, they're not buying drugs or whatever. It doesn't really matter if the CIA or whatever really looks into the blockchain and tries to find what you're up to. But yeah, so there's a few things like Bitcoin will, it has roadmaps for certain privacy features, not quite as in depth, but certainly making it a little bit harder to track who's doing what. But yeah, privacy is important.
It'll be really interesting to see how privacy coins like Monero actually fare in the future. Now that we have even the mainstream coins implementing privacy features, you know, Ethereum with
Like
ZK
Litecoin.
Snarks, Litecoin, yeah, that's Charlie Lee's next project. Let's make Litecoin a
Yep.
privacy coin too.
It's a
Will there
great
be a
idea.
place?
It's
Yeah,
very popular.
that's it.
I think everything should, if you're creating a coin, put privacy in it. Because why not? Why
Because why?
wouldn't you?
That's it. Why not?
Because people like it.
It's the new cool thing. It's the new cool thing. Everyone's got to have it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Awesome. Well, let's go into our next topic here. Now, I saw a video you did today. You were kind of talking a little bit about giveaways that people do during videos and stuff like this. And, you know, actually be really interested to hear what everyone thinks about that down in the comment section below. You guys can hit us up and let us know what you think about it. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I can definitely see the pluses and negatives. Like I said, like I mentioned in the video, it's just like a marketing budget, but you can spend it directly. That's one of the great advantages of cryptocurrency. You have more control over your money. I mean, I suppose you could do giveaways where you gave cash to your viewers, but then they'd have to give you their bank number and sort codes, and maybe they're not comfortable with that. And it's a bit weird, whatever. You know, yeah. I think. Do you know what? Do you mind if I have a look at my video? Let me read some of the comments out.
Yeah, go for it. Absolutely. Absolutely. While you're checking the comments real quick, I'll just mention I've started doing giveaways in 2 of my weekly videos. I have a weekly Bitcoin news video where I'm giving away $50 worth of Bitcoin, and I have a weekly altcoin news video where we look at all the kind of hottest, latest altcoins that are going, and there's a giveaway during that video as well every Friday. And I kind of started doing it as a, you know, I started with the giving away some altcoins. I thought, oh, let's do this for fun. And part of it is kind of a marketing budget, but part of it as well is that none of what happens on YouTube will be possible without the subscribers. And in a way, it's actually kind of a way for me to give back as well, to be honest. You know, I'm excited to give out these coins every week. So it's fun, but it's also, yeah, it's a kind of a bit of marketing too, to be honest.
Yeah. As this guy, Crypto Bobby, who runs his own YouTube channel, he said that I refuse to run Bitcoin giveaways because 99% of people who do them are just trying to scam the YouTube algorithm to drive more suckers to their BitConnect tutorial videos.
Ooh.
Don't get lumped with the herd. Stay organic, brother. Now, excuse me as I make $1,000 loan to BitConnect.
Well played, Crypto Bobby.
Real comment. Don't ever change. Would love to see a collab with you and Crypto Lark.
Nice.
Whoever you decide to collab with next, just make sure you go live without them knowing. Good stuff. Yeah, people like that.
Oh yeah, we'll do a live next time, guys, for sure.
Yeah. So some people are just straight up harsh with it. Please don't do giveaways. You're better than that. I think what a Crypto Bobby is saying is legit though, that people that are doing it to, I think that's where the stigma is from. I think that's because, you know, that's kind of what they're the stigma is because people are promoting BitConnect, and so I think that's why it's got a sour taste in the mouth for many people. And if it wasn't for that, then people would probably think it's cool. I don't know. It's debatable.
I feel you on that. This is the last thing that I would want, you know, coming out of any of my giveaways. Like, it's not about promoting any of this stuff. You know, a lot of the people who are giving away huge amounts of money every single day, 7 days a week. If you want to be into win money, go, I guess, follow these guys, but it's strictly for promoting BitConnect. It's to an extent a cost to doing business. So
Hmm.
there's pros and cons to it without a doubt. The last thing I would want would be just, a bunch of, I don't know, people who are not engaged with the community that I'm trying to build. I'm trying to do as a give back to the community, and that's why I only do it on, I don't know, I probably do 10 or 12 videos a week, and I only do it on 2 videos because I don't want all the comments just to be Bitcoin addresses.
Mm.
So
That's an interesting way of doing it. Yeah, that's a lot of videos in a week. You work hard.
it's
I
crazy.
can appreciate that as a content creator. That is pretty crazy.
Keeps me busy. And
Yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
this isn't even my full-time job yet. Although I'm hoping to do it, I can just go full crypto soon. But we'll see
That's
how it
so
goes.
you've got a full-time job on the side as well.
Yeah, it's about 20 hours a week. I'm
Okay.
a private language coach, so that
Okay.
keeps me busy. It's kind of like early mornings and late nights, and then all day I talk about
Yeah.
cryptocurrencies. It's awesome.
It's pretty funny. So like my most popular video was the top 5 undervalued coins. Like I couldn't do that again because of my like the audience is a lot larger than when I made that video. I had like almost no audience when I made that video. But in the thumbnail, like you can see how tired I look. Like there's bags under my eyes. It's because like I had a full-time job. I'm getting up early in the morning to do these, and I used to rush and cram and stress and edit as fast as I could, get it up. I'm gonna be late for work, and yeah, I respect the hustle. Yeah, it's hard.
But fun. But fun.
Yeah,
This
it
is
is.
the thing that keeps you going. Like if
It
I
is.
wasn't having fun, I wouldn't be doing it. And it's a lot of
I
fun.
know. And if you're into YouTube like purely for the money, I mean, the money would be nice, but if it's like your pure your only goal, then like not only were you possibly going to burn out because it's really hard to make money on YouTube, then yeah, no, primarily you're going to burn out, I think, and not enjoy it.
Yeah,
So
that's it. Be in it to have fun. If you're in to have fun, then it's not like work anyway.
yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, let's go on to ICO fever. This is a
Mhm.
topic I want to discuss, and this is a topic I discuss in my live chats a lot. And I do ICO reviews, and that's great. But one thing I always like to mention is, guys, by the way, ICO fever is on, and what I kind of define as ICO fever is not, of course, only the fact that there is 5 new ICOs a day, maybe more. Mostly the Ethereum ones are the only ones that get any publicity. NEM is doing ICOs. Neo's doing more ICOs now. It's only a matter of time before Cardano starts doing ICOs. Komodo tried and failed to do an ICO. Hopefully they come back and try again. But we're going to start seeing a
EOS.
situation where there's, yeah, EOS, when they get up going, bet your bottom dollar there'll be
Hmm.
tons of ICOs over there. But even
Hmm.
now, I feel like the market is saturated for how much money totally is in cryptocurrencies. I feel like the market's already getting a bit saturated, and we're getting these situations where everyone thinks they're going to make $1 million off of every ICO they invest in. And is where the problem comes. Everybody expects 2, 3, 4x gains as just, oh, it's in an ICO, I invest, I get rich. This is what happens.
Oh yeah,
But
that's the plan.
what's happening with a lot of ICOs now, they hit the market and they go down. You can actually buy probably 60 to 75% of them cheaper after the ICO. What do
Mm.
you think's going on? What are your thoughts?
I think that for the major public, the ones with like a high marketing budget, in the face blockbuster ICO, they are going to oversell. They need, if they're going to do that, they have to have a really low total cap
Hmm.
in how much. And some of them say they have total caps, but they're at like $100 million. So if they raise too much, they'll kill demand for the coin. Absolutely best to get in after the ICO. I think Andreas Antonopoulos said it very well that ICOs are the future of venture capitalism. They're going to change the way we invest in things. We'll own, not only is it like shares, but we have voting, we have say in the way the company runs. We have a lot more power. But the problem is 99% of them are crap. And what I think is definitely a case where there are too many ICOs. The funny thing is, if you can find the right one, if it's going under the radar, it's there's quite a few, even though there's still so many every day, there's quite a few that if you invest in, you make a lot of money. Even though it's stupid and, you know, potentially unsustainable that they raise so much every month, all these ICOs, there's a lot of them that do well. And it's just about picking the right one. But I definitely stay away from the blockbuster ones that raise too much money. So
Yeah, that's a good call. Some of them go way too much. You actually look at some of the biggest winning factors for an ICO over time have been if they have a working prototype and if they have a low market cap. You know, some of the biggest ones have been like that. I think Omise Go had a $25 million cap for the ICO, and of course it's, you know, like $1 billion currently. So
yeah,
investors did pretty well off that one. Everybody's looking for that next Omise Go like project, but it's tough. And of course there's scams out there too, and that is really hard to actually look through those. Yeah, that's it. It's hard to tell. Is ETH Connect still up? Is that
the last I heard, the website was down. I'm not sure if it's back up.
This is the thing, when ETH Connect came out, people were saying, "Hey, Lark, you got to go review ETH Connect." That's the last thing I want to review. But I'm gonna have a look at the website anyway because I'm curious. And one thing I saw on the Reddit was that they'd actually edited their white paper. They had a team, so like, oh look, we got a public face, unlike BitConnect. And then somebody did an image search, and actually they were some just random people from around Japan. And one of the guys actually, they messaged him on Twitter, and they're like, "Hey, is this you?" Like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never even heard of this company. And of course, they removed that later, but people still dumped millions of dollars into ETH Connect.
Oh, for sure, for sure. They're looking for the next BitConnect.
That's it.
There's a market for that, no matter how dodgy it is.
And Regal Coin came in and did a similar thing. Now, I think people are still locked out of that. I don't know. I don't really follow it, but again, dishonest projects from the beginning, and people are looking to make the big bucks without patience, without due diligence, without thinking about this stuff. And the one thing that just freaking breaks my heart in this situation is that people are giving millions of dollars to these total scammers, and then they get screwed. And then it's just like reviews with a restaurant. A person comes in, they have a good time, they might tell one or two people about it, maybe. Someone comes in, they get screwed, they're going to tell every single person they come across. Cryptocurrencies suck, cryptocurrencies steal your money, cryptocurrencies are used by criminals. And this is what happens. For every uneducated investor, they then tell 30 other people who don't know what the hell they're talking about, and people go, "Oh, cryptocurrency is bad."
There's some fantastic arguments. I agree 100%. That is a big problem. What is also funny is that a lot of the times, Regal Coin, for example, you invest in these clearly dodgy projects, and you make a lot of money.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's such the Wild West right now, unregulated, and just absolute mania going on. It is Disneyland of money, and I suppose we can try and enjoy it while it lasts. This won't be. I just don't see this lasting forever at all. But yeah, people make money, so it's like, well, was it that bad of an idea? It was very risky.
Yeah.
I think you can definitely say that. But yeah, nuts.
100% though. You know, this is the thing, is that it's not going to last like this forever. It simply can't. Already we're seeing moving forward underwriting services. For example, Coben Hood's come out with ICO underwriting service where they, you know, they've got a legal team who sits down, investigates everything, checks the team out, all this stuff. That may be the way forward.
That's needed, definitely.
You know, or
because I feel like you and I, we're in this for the long term. We want to see cryptocurrency really change the world, be here, make early adopters of the tech, make them do well, eventually get to the point where it's a currency. And we, as much as it's possible, especially for YouTubers to make money with these projects, we have a desire that everyone does well. We don't want anyone to lose money. We don't want people saying to other people, "I lost all my money in BitPetite." And this YouTuber was telling me I should invest under his referral link and stuff like this. So yeah, we're in it for the long term. And I think, you know, that kind of mentality is going to pay off, because crypto is the future.
It is the future. It is the future. And I'm definitely in it long term as well. Yeah. It comes right back to all that stuff about, BitConnect, whether it be BitPetite or promoting any other projects which may fundamentally have been started dishonestly. Obviously, BitPetite crashed, took everyone's money. I know there was one quite prominent YouTuber who had been promoting the crap out of it. It crashed, and then of course he removed all the videos in that situation. So the audience, the people, the subscribers, the community, you guys out there, we're doing this for you guys so much, and got to stay away from the scams. I always tell people, got to stay away from the scams, guys. Don't give them your money. I don't care if you're going to get, 5% per day. Don't do it, because you're going to lose your money in the long run. That's what happened with BitPetite. A lot of people lost a lot of money. And even if they hadn't lost their money, what are you doing? You're knowingly signing up for money laundering and then making videos about it on YouTube. What the fuck?
And I can hear what you're saying about wanting to enjoy this. And you do enjoy it. Imagine you putting your fans, people that like you, that support you, and you put their money at risk. And I don't know. It's just something I'd be uncomfortable doing.
Yeah, that's it. But then, other people have different sets of morals, I guess.
Yeah, and then potentially they could say, well, everyone made money, so step off.
That's it. Or, well, I made money, and sorry if all you guys lost money, but thanks for all the money. Yeah, I feel like, and I don't want to talk about BitConnect, but I feel like someday that might be the case with BitConnect, where a lot of people, well, I made a lot of money. I'm sorry, you guys all lost out, but
it could potentially be the most scalable Ponzi ever created, and it might be around for years, or it might not. We don't know.
Or it might not.
We just don't know.
That's it. It's certainly fun to watch from the sidelines, though.
It is. I think it'll be a dark day when and if that goes under. Be a lot of people who invested too much. I think a lot of people know the risks and are okay with the risks, but there'll be some people that go overboard and will be financially ruined. Yep. And I feel for them, but
and the story will repeat. It always does. It always does with these kind of things. How many times have people knowingly got into things where they knew the returns were too good, and then got burnt? And it's nothing new to BitConnect. This has been going on in finance since finance existed.
Yeah, still going on.
Still going on. There will be another one after this.
Yes. For sure.
Oh. Fantastic. Well, let's quickly touch on decentralized exchanges, and then we'll finish up after that. So, decentralized exchanges seem to be like the promised land for cryptocurrencies, and yet we don't really have much functionality out of them yet. We have EtherDelta, which is semi-rubbish. We have a lot of projects under development, Kyber Network, for example, sometime later next year. IOTA later, other projects later. Nothing seems to be happening yet. Just big anticipation. DEXs are going to change the world, but we haven't actually seen it. And even the ones that are coming out, cross-chain compatibility, still going to be a problem. What are your thoughts on it? Where are we going from here?
Yeah. As much as people want, I suppose, the idea that we don't need any third parties or any centralized institutions to be able to transact with each other, and I like that concept. Customer service is quite important. If you mess up, because a lot of people mess up, they need someone to help them. And it's fine, like if you can truly build a smart contract that's good enough, that kind of stuff where you don't really need customer support, then cool. But we know that's probably a very far thing off in the future. For example, the recent parity problem, where because of smart contracts, because there's no centralized party who was in control of the funds, it was all a smart contract. A lot of funds got locked off for people. So there's pluses and there's negatives. I see most of the market not caring that as long as the centralized exchange works, then I'm going to use it because it's more user-friendly as customer support. I love the idea of decentralized exchanges, and I hope that they do well. And we definitely need something better than EtherDelta because it's awful.
It really is awful. It works, but it's awful.
Yeah. So yeah, I hope we get a new EtherDelta. But in terms of like, I don't know how popular a decentralized exchange would be unless its user functionality is better than what we've already got. Maybe I'll be wrong, but
Yeah, it'll be
yeah.
interesting to see, for example, what Kyber Network comes out with. Robinhood is planning on being decentralized. They're starting off as a centralized exchange, but they will be decentralized in the future. It's on the roadmap for next year. Same for Binance, actually. They originally started the concept where, yeah, we're going to be centralized until we can figure out the tech to make it decentralized. So if we can have companies like that that still have, okay, we're going to do customer service, all this stuff as well, but you can
Mm.
access the exchange functionality in a decentralized way where you don't have to put your money on our server, for example. We might see some kind of hybrid model moving forward where you have to access the
Yeah.
centralized service to do a
Yeah.
decentralized exchange.
That seems like the best method. I hadn't considered that. That certainly seems to solve both problems. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Well,
hope to see it.
watch the space, guys. We'll see where it develops. We'll see what goes on. Anyway, Cam, I know your time's valuable, man. So this has been an awesome chat. We definitely have to do this again one of these days. Maybe I'll figure out how to get my computer working better so we can do an actual live stream next time. That'd be
For
awesome.
sure. Yeah, that sounds good. I definitely enjoyed hashing out these topics. Got some stuff to think about.
Man,
So yeah, I got some good insights from you, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So
likewise,
thank you.
likewise. Yeah, thank you, thank you. We'll see you next time.